I really tried my best, please watch the video until the end.
I watch the huge bone beast drop from the gray sky. The heavy dead mass hits the dry dirt with great force. A massive shockwave pushes all the loose dust far away. I stand my ground against the very strong sudden wind. This creature holds absolute power over the silent realm. Giant skeletal wings fold back with a loud, dry crunch. A cold green fire burns deep inside its huge ribcage. Thick ghost fog flows out from the heavy pale bone jaws. The pale mist covers the cold ground in a thick layer. I feel the air temperature drop by 20 whole degrees. System alert. The SSS-rank Zero Focus Virus is now active. This monster acts as a direct gate to the underworld. The dark necrotic nexus pulses with a very heavy rhythm. I step forward to observe the dark magic at close range. A loose bone falls from the long tail to the hard rock. The pale fragment hits the stone with a sharp, loud snap. Dark energy wraps around the small piece of dead matter. The white bone shifts and grows into a full, tall warrior. A new skeleton soldier stands up from the empty dirt. It grips a rusty iron sword with its thin, pale fingers. System alert soul infection spreads across the dead zone. The huge dragon turns its massive skull toward the east. Empty eye sockets stare at the old ruined battleground. Millions of ancient soldiers died on this very open field. Their old broken weapons still litter the dry, dead soil. The giant beast takes one slow, heavy step to the front. The ground shakes under the pure weight of the monster. I keep my eyes on the glowing green fire in its chest. The bright soul flame grows much larger and much hotter. A silent wave of dark power washes over the whole area. The heavy pressure makes my own breathing very difficult. I force my lungs to take in the freezing, cold, dead air. This aura reaches out for exactly 10 wide kilometers. System alert area of effect resurrection protocol initiated. The giant bone dragon lowers its huge head to the dirt. One massive sharp claw touches the dry, cracked surface. A flash of pure green energy shoots into the deep earth. The hard ground begins to vibrate with a very low hum. I watch the dry dirt crack open across the entire plain. The sheer scale of this dark magic defies all pure logic. Old rusted armor breaks through the hard upper soil layer. Bony hands push up from the deep dark graves all around. Ancient warriors climb out of their very long, deep sleep. The green soul fire ignites inside every single empty skull. A massive legion of dead soldiers forms in the open field. System alert. Millions of fallen units now join your army. The sheer number of troops blocks out the entire horizon. I calculate the total combat power of this massive force. No living army could ever hope to defeat this dead horde. The giant dragon lets out a very loud and silent roar. The psychic wave hits my mind with a brutal heavy force. I block the mental strike using my strong inner focus. The dead soldiers raise their old weapons high in the air. Their silent cheer echoes through the cold, freezing wind. This dark, necrotic nexus feeds on the pure, ambient death. The green flames burn away all the remaining weak light. I walk slowly through the endless ranks of bone warriors. They part ways to let me pass without a single sound. The giant beast lowers its massive wing for me to climb. I step onto the thick, pale bone with very steady feet. The surface feels like solid ice under my heavy, dark boots. I climb up to the wide, flat space right above the skull. The view from this high point reveals the true grand scale. Millions of green dots glow in the dark, faraway distance. System alert. Maximum command capacity has been fully reached. The gods themselves would shake in fear at this vast sight. I grip the large bone spike to keep my perfect balance. The huge dragon raises its heavy head up to the gray sky. A thick stream of ghost fog pours from its open wide jaws. The pale mist spreads out to cover the new massive army. This thick fog hides their exact numbers from all enemies. I plan our next move with cold and very pure logic now. We will march straight toward the grand royal capital city. The living rulers will soon face the true ultimate despair. Another loose rib falls from the beast to the cold ground. The bone shatters into 10 small, sharp and white pieces. 10 new soldiers rise up from the broken pale fragments. System alert. The passive unit generation works perfectly. This constant growth makes the army truly hard to stop. I send a silent mental order to the giant bone creature. The beast takes a massive step forward on the dead land. Millions of skeletons march right behind the huge leader. The sound of their bony feet creates a loud, heavy rumble. The dead soil turns to gray dust under their endless steps. I feel the pure, raw power flowing through the dark nexus. The green soul fire warms my cold hands with dark energy. We leave the old, ruined battlefield far behind us today. The path ahead holds only total ruin and absolute defeat. I watch a small, living bird fall dead from the toxic sky. The aura of death drains all life force in mere seconds. System alert. Hostile life forms eliminated by the dark aura. Even the local plants turn gray and crumble into fine ash. We bring a moving zone of total death to this whole world. The giant dragon spreads its wings to catch the cold wind. We do not fly, but simply hover just above the broken dirt. The massive army matches our slow and very steady pace. A group of human scouts hides on a high rocky hill nearby. I spot their weak vital signs using my special dark vision. The huge beast turns its skull to face the hiding humans. A beam of green fire shoots from the open skeletal mouth. The kinetic force blasts the entire rock hill into dust. The human scouts lose their lives in a very brief flash. System alert. Fresh souls have been added to the main core. Their broken bones fly out of the hot dust cloud quickly. The dark magic grabs their remains in the open, empty air. 5 new skeletons land on the ground, ready to fight now. They join the massive horde without any single hesitation. I observe this fast process with a very calm and cold mind. The Zero Focus Virus works with a highly brutal efficiency. No living force can adapt to this rapid, constant growth. We reach the wide river that marks the main borderline. The rushing water blocks the direct path for the foot army. I command the giant dragon to step into the deep, cold water. The necrotic aura freezes the entire river in one moment. A thick bridge of green ice forms across the wide gap now. System alert. The terrain alteration protocol executed perfectly. The Endless Legion marches safely over the frozen surface. The heavy ice groans under the extreme weight of the horde. I look at the tall stone walls of the distant living city. They think those weak barriers will keep them totally safe. The giant dragon lets out another brutal psychic shockwave. The green soul fire burns brighter in the dark evening sky. Millions of dead soldiers prepare to breach the front gate. This world will soon learn the true meaning of dark power. I stand tall on the pale skull of the grand beast of death. The city guards sound their loud horns in absolute panic. I watch them run around the stone walls like tiny insects. Their fear feeds the dark nexus inside the giant bone chest. System alert. Enemy morale has dropped to the absolute zero. I point my hand directly at the heavy wooden front doors. The huge dragon opens its jaws to release pure dark energy. A massive green beam strikes the city gate with huge force. The thick wood shatters into thousands of tiny burning pieces. The kinetic blast throws the human guards off the high wall. Their bodies hit the hard stone floor with a heavy, loud thud. The dead legion rushes forward into the large open breach. Millions of skeletons flood the narrow streets of the city. I feel the sweet victory taking shape in my cold, dark mind. The living soldiers drop their weapons and run far away now. System alert. The capital city is now under your full control. I order the giant bone beast to enter the wide main street. The heavy skeletal feet crush the smooth white paving stones. This wealthy capital will serve as my new central power base. Millions of pale warriors flood the narrow side alleys quickly. The living citizens lock their heavy wooden doors in sheer panic. Their pathetic hiding spots offer zero real protection from us. System alert. Urban assimilation protocol has been fully engaged. I watch a group of elite royal guards form a tight shield wall. Their silver armor shakes under the weight of pure, absolute fear. These foolish men waste their final moments on useless bravery. The giant dragon sweeps its massive tail across the town square. The kinetic strike throws the armored guards into the stone walls. A swift defeat saves them from a much longer, pointless struggle. Dark green energy wraps around their broken, unconscious bodies. The necrotic virus drains their remaining life force very fast. Every fallen enemy simply adds more raw power to my grand army. System alert. Elite human units converted into fresh bone soldiers. The new skeletons rise up from the cold, hard city street paving. They pick up their old silver swords with pale, empty bone hands. Their complete loyalty belongs only to the Dark Nexus right now. I direct the huge beast toward the tall royal palace in the back. The grand structure features high towers and thick glass walls. The corrupt human king hides behind those expensive decorations. The bone dragon releases a thick cloud of pale, freezing ghost fog. The heavy mist covers the entire palace ground in mere seconds. This thick barrier stops any possible escape from the big building. System alert. The royal compound is now completely sealed off today. I step down from the giant skull onto the wide royal balcony. The cold stone surface cracks slightly under my heavy dark boots. The physical world always breaks under the weight of true power. I push the tall wooden doors open with a single strong, hard kick. The thick panels hit the grand room floor with a massive, loud bang. Dramatic entrances help to establish absolute total dominance here. The old human king sits on his golden chair with a very pale face. His fat body shakes violently as he looks at my dark, cold armor. He finally understands the complete futility of his past actions. 5 royal mages step forward to cast their bright fire spells now. Red magical energy gathers around their wooden staffs very quickly. Their basic elemental magic cannot harm a supreme necrotic nexus. System alert: hostile magic detected in the immediate local area. The giant bone dragon thrusts its huge head through the open wall. The falling stone blocks crush the 5 mages into the hard floor. Physical mass always beats fragile human magic in a direct fight. System alert: high-level magic users neutralized by kinetic impact. The green soul fire inside the dragon chest pulses with new power. The dead mages rise from the ruined stones as fresh pale bones. I just gained 5 powerful arcane units for my endless dead army. I walk slowly toward the golden throne where the fat king sits. The ruler drops his shiny metal crown onto the red velvet carpet. Material wealth holds absolutely zero value in the realm of death. I grab the heavy gold crown from the floor with my armored hand. The soft yellow metal bends easily under my strong physical grip. I will melt this useless object to forge new weapons for my army. System alert: royal authority has been fully transferred to you. The giant beast lets out a low rumble from deep inside its ribs. The sonic wave shatters all remaining glass windows in the room. The beast senses a hidden source of power somewhere in this room. I use my dark vision to scan the grand throne room very closely. A bright blue energy signature glows beneath the cold stone floor. The humans hid their most valuable artifact right under the king. I order the bone dragon to dig into the hard rock with its claws. The massive, sharp bone hooks tear through the floor like wet dirt. No human vault can withstand the pure brute force of an SSS pet. System alert: hidden underground chamber detected below your feet. A bright blue crystal rests on a stone pedestal inside the hole. The arcane energy pushes against the heavy, cold, necrotic aura now. This raw magic core will serve as a perfect meal for my giant pet. The giant dragon opens its pale jaws to consume the raw crystal. The blue light mixes with the green soul fire in the giant chest. The fusion of these two opposing energies creates a massive wave. System alert: the necrotic nexus is absorbing the pure magic core. A violent shockwave of mixed power explodes outward from the pet. The large palace shakes violently under the sudden extreme force. The palace might fall if this energy output grows any higher now. Many extra thick bones grow out from the huge spine of the beast. The beast becomes even larger and much more deadly than before. This sudden evolution increases our total combat power immensely. System alert: the bone beast hits a new stage of pure fast growth. I step back to observe the massive physical changes in the beast. Thick bone armor plates cover the previously exposed open rib cage. The core soul fire is now fully protected from all enemy attacks. The human king tries to crawl away toward the broken wooden door. His heavy breathing echoes loudly in the quiet, ruined grand room. I cannot let the king escape to rally the faraway human cities. I point my armored finger directly at the fleeing fat human king. A sharp bone spike shoots out from the dirt and blocks his path. He freezes in place with absolute terror written across his face. System alert, target movement stopped by the local ground control. I walk over to the fallen king and grab his expensive silk shirt. I lift his heavy body off the floor with a single effortless pull. His pathetic life ends here in the ruins of his own grand home. The dark aura flows from my cold armor straight into his chest. His eyes roll back as the cold virus stops his weak human heart. The kingdom officially falls the very moment its old leader dies. System alert. The primary human target has been fully eliminated. I drop the lifeless body back onto the dusty, ruined stone floor. The green soul fire immediately ignites inside his empty skull. He will serve me much better as a silent, obedient, undead servant. The newly formed skeleton king stands up and bows his head to me. System alert. Global enemy morale has reached an irreversible low. I walk out to the high balcony to look at my new conquered city. Millions of bone warriors stand perfectly still in the main road. The total silence of the dead army creates a very heavy pressure. The giant bone dragon climbs up the side of the tall stone tower. Its huge claws dig deep into the thick, expensive white stone. The beast takes the highest city point as its new dark home base. System alert. The central necrotic nexus is now firmly established. The dark green fog rolls down from the high tower into the city. The cold mist hunts down any remaining hidden humans in the city. The Zero Focus Virus will clean this entire capital by the dawn. I raise my dark armored hand to signal the massive army below me. Every single skeleton hits its weapon against its pale ribcage. The loud, rhythmic noise sounds like the dark heart of a dead god. System alert. The huge undead legion awaits your next dark order. I pull a map of the continent from my thick, dark leather belt. The old paper shows 3 more human kingdoms to the far north. This single victory marks only the start of my grand dark war. The giant bone dragon spreads its huge, newly armored, pale wings. A massive dark shadow falls over the entire ruined capital city. The whole world will soon drown in this endless sea of pure dark. I step onto the wide balcony edge and look at the dark gray sky. The cold wind carries the smell of fear from the distant lands. They know the dark virus is coming to consume their weak lives. System alert. The next phase of the grand invasion begins today. I fold the paper map with slow and very precise hand movements. The dry parchment makes a sharp sound in the quiet, cold air. This simple action seals the dark fate of the northern lands. I look at the giant bone dragon resting on the high stone tower. The pale beast shifts its massive weight against the white wall. Its heavy physical presence dominates the entire ruined capital. System alert. The Northern March protocol is now fully active. I jump off the high balcony into the empty dark space below me. Gravity pulls my heavy armored body down at a very high speed. I land on the hard street and crack the thick stone blocks. The kinetic impact sends a small dust cloud into the cold air. Millions of bone soldiers turn their empty skulls to look at me. Absolute obedience radiates from their silent standing ranks. I walk past the endless pale skeletons with very steady steps. The green soul fire burns brightly inside their empty chests. This massive undead legion requires a new target to consume. I send a silent mental command to the giant beast above my head. The heavy dragon pushes off the tall tower with extreme force. The stone structure collapses under the raw power of its launch. System alert building destruction adds to the local fear level. The giant bone wings catch the freezing night wind very easily. A massive shadow moves fast across the dark, ruined city floor. We begin our long march toward the high mountains in the north. The dead army moves out of the broken gate in perfect order. Their pale skeletal feet crush the remaining wooden debris now. I ride a large, undead horse made of pure dark bone right now. The temperature drops rapidly as we enter the open green plains. The Zero Focus Virus spreads through the ground with every step. Fresh green grass turns into gray dust under our heavy advance. System alert. The local land is adapting to the dead dark aura. I watch the distant northern horizon with a cold expression. The first human fortress stands between 2 high dark mountains. They built those thick walls to stop ordinary living armies. The giant dragon flies directly over my head with a loud rumble. Heavy ghost fog falls from its open jaws onto the dead troops. This pale mist hides our true numbers from the distant scouts. We reach the outer edge of the northern mountain pass very soon. The human defenders light huge fire pits along their high walls. Bright orange flames try to push back the creeping total dark. System alert: enemy defensive spots located ahead of your army. I stop my bone horse at the exact edge of their weapon range. Millions of pale skeletons halt their march at the same time. The sudden total silence creates a huge psychological pressure. A heavy iron arrow flies through the air toward my dark head. I catch the fast projectile with my bare armored hand easily. Their weak physical attacks cannot pierce my dense dark aura. I crush the wooden arrow shaft into tiny splinters very easily. The broken pieces fall to the dead gray dirt in total silence. This pathetic display of human resistance ends right here today. System alert: hostile intent, registered from the fortress walls. I point my dark sword directly at the massive iron front gates. The giant bone dragon dives down from the dark clouds instantly. Its massive speed creates a highly destructive sonic shockwave. The kinetic blast hits the stone wall with a brutal heavy force. Large blocks of solid rock crack and crumble under the impact. The human guards lose their balance and fall from the high edge. Their soft bodies hit the hard ground with a heavy, loud thud. Green soul fire sparks inside their broken forms very quickly. The dead guards stand up to fight against their former comrades. System alert: fresh hostile units converted to loyal bone troops. The giant beast lands heavily in front of the huge iron gate. It opens its massive pale jaws to gather pure, dark green energy. I shield my eyes from the bright light of the heavy soul fire. A massive beam of necrotic power strikes the thick metal doors. The heavy iron melts into glowing orange liquid in mere seconds. No living material can resist the pure heat of the underworld. System alert: the primary defensive barrier has been destroyed. I lower my dark sword to signal the charge of my dead army. Millions of pale skeletons rush forward into the smoking breach. Their bony feet create a loud roar on the hard stone ground. The remaining human soldiers try to form a tight defensive line. They point their long silver spears at the endless wave of bone. Fear makes their weak hands shake violently in the cold dark. The first line of skeletons crashes into the sharp metal spears. Pale bones shatter into small pieces under the heavy hits. But 10 more dead warriors instantly step over every fallen. System alert: the massive number advantage overwhelms the enemy. The human defense line breaks apart under the extreme pressure. My dead soldiers disarm the living guards with cold efficiency. Heavy skeletal fists strike human helmets with massive force. The armored defenders fall unconscious to the cold stone floor. The dark virus enters their bodies through the tiny armor gaps. Their vital signs drop to zero as the cold death claims them. System alert: human battalions converted to your dark side now. I ride my bone horse slowly through the ruined courtyard now. The air smells like burnt iron and heavy static magical energy. I observe the total victory with a very calm and clear mind. The giant dragon lands on the highest central stone tower now. Its heavy claws crush the stone roof into tiny flying pieces. This fortress now serves as a perfect forward base for my army. System alert: forward operating base secured without any losses. I step off my horse and walk toward the main command hall now. I kick the heavy wooden doors open with a single strong strike. The northern general sits at his large table with a pale face. He holds a sharp silver dagger with heavily trembling hands. The cold fear in his eyes tells me he already knows his fate. I walk up to the wooden table with slow and measured steps. System alert: high-value human commander located in the room. He tries to swing the silver dagger at my heavy dark armor. I grab his wrist and apply a massive amount of heavy pressure. The sharp weapon drops to the stone floor with a loud ring. I push him backward into his wooden chair with extreme force. The dark energy flows from my hand directly into his pale skin. His human life ends instantly without any pointless struggle. System alert: enemy general fully assimilated into the dead army. The dead general opens his glowing green eyes and stands up. He hands me the strategic maps of the remaining northern lands. This new intelligence makes my future conquest perfectly easy. I walk back outside to check on the massive giant bone beast. The dragon drops another loose rib onto the hard stone ground. The huge bone shatters into 20 sharp pieces upon impact. System alert. Passive unit generation scales up with the land. 20 tall skeleton warriors rise from the broken fragments. They carry huge bone shields and very heavy dark iron hammers. My army constantly evolves to match the growing global threats. I look at the dark northern sky filled with heavy gray clouds. The cold wind brings the faint sound of distant warning bells. The Second Kingdom knows we have breached their border defense. System alert. Global awareness of your dark invasion goes up. The giant bone dragon lets out a loud roar into the cold night. The psychic shockwave travels across the empty plains quickly. Millions of dead soldiers bang their weapons on their shields. This rhythmic noise creates an earthquake in the local region. The ground shakes violently under the raw power of the Legion. I mount my undead horse to lead the next phase of the assault. System alert. All units are fully prepared for the next march. We leave the ruined fortress behind and enter the snowy valley. The thick white snow turns gray as the dark aura touches ice. Our massive army marches perfectly without feeling any cold. I spot a frozen lake blocking the path between two mountains. The ice looks too thin to support the weight of my dead troops. I command the giant dragon to freeze the water totally solid. System alert. Environmental modification sequence is now running. The beast breathes a heavy stream of green fire onto the lake. The liquid water instantly turns into a massive block of ice. We march safely across the newly formed, highly stable bridge. A group of giant ice trolls jumps down from the snowy cliffs. Their heavy clubs smash into the ground with incredible force. These wild creatures think they can stop the march of death. System alert. Large hostile monsters detected on the front line. The giant ice trolls swing their heavy wooden clubs at me. A massive kinetic wave pushes the front line of bones back. Physical mass always dictates the flow of a direct combat. System alert. Large kinetic impacts registered on the front. I raise my dark sword to command the giant bone dragon now. The beast opens its pale jaws to release thick freezing fog. The extreme cold drops the local temperature very rapidly. The heavy mist covers the angry ice trolls in mere seconds. Their thick blue skin freezes solid under the thermal shock. Wild beasts cannot survive pure, concentrated dark magic cold. System alert. Hostile biological targets neutralized by frost. The giant dragon lands heavily on the frozen solid lake ice. Its massive claws crush the frozen trolls into tiny pieces. Dark green soul fire ignites inside the broken icy remains. Huge skeletal trolls rise to join my endless marching army. These heavy shock troops will break any thick human walls. System alert. Giant class units added to your undead legion. We resume our silent march through the deep snowy mountains. The freezing wind carries the heavy scent of old dry bones. I sense a massive source of ancient energy just ahead of us. The narrow mountain pass opens into a very wide, flat valley. Millions of rusted metal swords stick out of the frozen dirt. This place served as a massive ancient battlefield long ago. The ground holds the silent remains of a forgotten empire. System alert. Extreme concentration of dead matter located. I order my dark army to halt at the edge of the wide valley. The sudden stop creates absolute silence in the cold night. I point my armored finger toward the center of the old field. The giant bone dragon flies directly over the rusted weapons. It drops down and lands right in the middle of the dead zone. The heavy kinetic impact shakes the entire mountain range. System alert. The necrotic nexus has engaged the local dirt. The giant beast touches the frozen ground with a massive claw. A shockwave of pure dark energy explodes outward very fast. The green soul fire spreads across the entire ancient valley. The frozen dirt cracks open with a massive, deafening rumble. Millions of pale skeletal hands burst from the cold, dark soil. Ancient warriors pull their old bones out of the deep graves. System alert. Mass resurrection protocol is running at max. The green soul fire burns extremely bright in their skulls. An entire lost empire stands ready to serve my dark command. The sheer physical pressure of this army bends the cold air. System alert. Millions of ancient troops joined your forces. I ride my bone horse down into the center of the dark valley. The ancient skeletal generals bow their empty heads to me. Their absolute loyalty belongs to the supreme necrotic nexus. I raise my dark sword to signal the start of the next attack. The massive undead legion turns toward the second human city. Their combined footsteps create a constant heavy earthquake. System alert: global seismic activity detected in the north. We march out of the old valley with unstoppable momentum. The giant bone dragon flies high above the moving dead troops. Loose bones fall from its massive ribcage during the flight. The heavy fragments hit the stone ground with loud crashes. Each broken bone instantly transforms into a fresh warrior. My army constantly grows larger simply by moving forward now. System alert. Passive unit generation continues to scale up. The thick ghost fog rolls ahead of our massive marching line. The cold mist consumes the green trees and small wild animals. The local environment dies completely under our dark advance. We reach the outer borders of the second human kingdom soon. A massive stone wall blocks the main road to their capital. Thousands of human soldiers stand on the high defensive line. System alert. Massive enemy presence located at the border. They load heavy rocks into their large wooden catapult units. The wooden machines launch the massive stones into the sky. The heavy projectiles fall toward my endless undead legion. I do not order my troops to stop or evade the falling rocks. The massive stones crush hundreds of skeletons into fine dust. The kinetic impact shatters their pale bones completely now. System alert: minor unit losses registered on the front line. The dark virus immediately reconstructs the broken warriors. The scattered bone dust forms back into solid pale skeletons. Physical destruction means absolutely nothing to the dead army. System alert: enemy morale dropping rapidly across the wall. I command the giant skeletal trolls to move to the front line. The massive undead monsters march forward with heavy steps. They pick up the fallen catapult rocks with huge bone hands. The trolls throw the heavy stones back at the high stone wall. The kinetic force of their throw exceeds human siege weapons. The returning rocks smash into the human defensive positions. System alert: severe structural damage dealt to enemy walls. The high stone barrier cracks and collapses under the impacts. Hundreds of human soldiers fall into the deep ruined rubble. The heavy stones crush their soft bodies with extreme force. Green soul fire ignites in the dust cloud almost instantly. The fallen humans rise as fresh recruits for my endless army. System alert. Fresh hostile units converted to your dark side. The giant bone dragon dives straight toward the broken wall. Its massive wings create a violent storm of cold, freezing wind. The remaining human defenders lose their footing and fall down. The beast lands on the ruined wall and crushes the stone blocks. It lets out a massive roar that shatters the local atmosphere. The sonic wave knocks the distant human reserves unconscious. System alert: area of effect sonic attack highly successful. I ride my bone horse through the large gap in the stone wall. Millions of ancient skeletons follow me into the new kingdom. The endless sea of pale bones floods the green human fields. The Zero Focus Virus infects the rich soil with every footstep. The bright green grass turns into gray ash in a few seconds. System alert. Environmental assimilation process is fully active. I look at the distant capital city of this weak second kingdom. I order the giant bone dragon to fly ahead of the main army. The massive beast blocks the warm sunlight with its huge wings. A deep dark shadow falls over the distant human capital city. The sudden darkness creates extreme panic among the citizens. System alert. The psychological warfare protocol is active. The giant dragon opens its jaws to release the heavy ghost fog. The cold green mist rolls rapidly across the open farm fields. They wake up a moment later as loyal soldiers of my dark legion. System alert: civilian populations added to the endless ranks. I stop my horse on a high hill to observe the massive invasion. The entire landscape belongs to the dead ancient warriors now. The human capital activates a massive blue magical energy shield. A glowing dome covers the entire city to stop my creeping fog. This pathetic magic trick only delays their inevitable total end. System alert. High-level defensive magic detected ahead of you. I send the giant skeletal trolls toward the bright blue shield. They reach the edge of the glowing magical barrier very quickly. The trolls raise their massive weapons to strike the energy dome. System alert. Heavy kinetic bombardment sequence is starting now. The huge bone hammers smash into the blue light with pure force. A violent shockwave ripples across the entire magical barrier. The sheer physical mass disrupts the fragile arcane frequencies. Blue sparks fly into the cold air as the shield begins to crack. Magic always fails when facing absolute raw physical destruction. System alert. Enemy magical defenses are failing very rapidly. The giant bone dragon lands directly on top of the glowing dome. Its massive weight pushes down on the struggling energy shield. The beast digs its sharp claws deep into the pure arcane light. The necrotic virus infects the magical core through direct touch. The bright blue shield slowly turns into a dark green color now. System alert. Arcane energy source corrupted by the dark virus. The corrupted magical dome shatters into millions of tiny pieces. The broken energy shards fall onto the terrified human city below. The heavy ghost fog instantly floods the completely open streets. Millions of ancient skeletons rush forward with terrifying speed. Their pale bones create a massive white wave of pure total death. The second kingdom falls before the sun reaches the high noon. System alert. Total victory achieved in the second human zone. I ride my dark bone horse through the broken city gates. The terrified living citizens drop their heavy weapons now. Fear freezes their weak human hearts in absolute silence. System alert. Complete assimilation process is running now. The heavy green fog flows deep into the narrow stone streets. Living bodies absorb the dark virus through their cold mouths. They fall to the hard ground and lose consciousness very fast. Green soul fire ignites inside their empty human chests soon. Fresh undead soldiers stand up to join my massive dark army. System alert. Local civilian population is fully converted now. I look at the massive royal palace in the center of the city. The giant bone dragon lands heavily on the golden royal roof. Its massive claws crush the expensive architecture into dust. The heavy stone pillars collapse under the extreme pressure. This display of raw physical power breaks all remaining hope. System alert. Royal leadership structure is completely destroyed. I sense a strange pulse of pure energy deep under the ground. The human kings hid a powerful ancient artifact in the dark. I command the giant beast to dig into the ruined stone floor. Massive pale bone claws tear through the thick solid granite. The kinetic force sends huge rock blocks flying into the air. A deep hidden vault opens to reveal a glowing white crystal. System alert. High-density holy energy source detected below. The bright holy light tries to burn my heavy dark green aura. I step off my undead horse and walk toward the glowing stone. My heavy boots crush the broken palace tiles with every step. The holy energy pushes against my physical form very hard now. I grab the glowing white crystal with my bare armored hand. The extreme heat of the holy magic fails to pierce my armor. System alert. Holy artifact is resisting the necrotic virus. I channel pure dark energy from the giant bone dragon above. The dark virus flows through my arm into the bright white core. The pure white light slowly turns into a toxic glowing green. The holy crystal shatters into tiny glowing green shards now. System alert. Holy artifact successfully corrupted and broken. The local environment shifts instantly after the crystal dies. Dark clouds gather over the ruined human capital very quickly. The temperature drops below freezing in a matter of seconds. My massive undead army stands still in the freezing cold wind. We must prepare for the heavy response from the Holy Empire. System alert. Third Kingdom mobilizing holy forces in the south. The giant bone dragon lets out a massive earth-shaking roar. It drops a dozen massive teeth onto the broken palace floor. The heavy bone fragments crack the stone with extreme force. Huge skeletal knights rise from the shattered dragon teeth. They carry massive dark swords and wear heavy, thick armor. System alert. Elite Royal Guard units successfully generated. I order these new giant knights to protect my flanks always. I mount my bone horse and point my dark sword to the south. Millions of pale skeletons turn their empty skulls to follow. The endless march of total death resumes without any delay. We leave the completely ruined second capital far behind us. The ground shakes under the heavy steps of my ancient legion. System alert. Global fear levels reaching maximum capacity now. A massive golden wall appears on the distant green horizon. The Holy Empire built this heavy barrier to stop dark magic. Thousands of elite paladins stand ready on the high gold wall. Their bright silver armor reflects the harsh, bright sunlight. System alert. Elite holy enemy forces detected on the border. I halt my massive undead legion 1 mile from the Golden Wall. The sudden total silence creates heavy psychological stress. The human paladins begin to chant a loud, ancient, holy prayer. A wave of pure golden light sweeps across the flat green fields. The holy energy tries to purify my front line of bone troops. System alert. Incoming hostile holy magic attack registered. I do not even bother to raise my dark sword to defend them. The golden light hits the pale skeletons with immense force. The weak holy magic shatters against their dense dark auras. Physical mass and dark energy easily overpower their prayers. System alert. Enemy holy attack failed to deal any damage now. The human paladins watch in absolute terror and total shock. Their ultimate holy weapon did absolutely nothing to my army. I command the giant skeletal trolls to advance to the front. The massive beasts walk forward with heavy shaking steps now. They carry huge boulders gathered from the ruined human city. System alert. Heavy siege units are moving into attack range. The giant trolls throw the massive stones at the Golden Wall. The heavy projectiles fly through the air with extreme speed. The kinetic impact shatters the golden barrier into pieces. Elite paladins fall from the high wall and hit the hard dirt. Their heavy silver armor crushes their weak human bodies now. System alert. The primary holy defensive line is fully broken. Green soul fire ignites inside the broken paladin bodies fast. The fallen holy warriors rise as loyal servants of the dark. Their silver armor turns black under the heavy dark infection. System alert. Elite holy units converted to dark bone knights. The giant bone dragon dives from the sky with a massive roar. Its huge pale claws crash into the center of the Golden Wall. The entire stone structure collapses into a huge dust cloud. The path into the sacred holy empire is now completely open. I ride my undead horse slowly through the ruined golden gates. System alert. Entry into the Third Kingdom is successful now. Millions of pale skeletons follow me into the new holy lands. The dark virus spreads rapidly across the rich holy soil now. Beautiful green trees instantly wither and turn into gray ash. The local environment dies under the weight of my dark aura. System alert. Holy environment is adapting to the dead legion. The giant beast flies high to scout the distant holy capital. System alert. Visual contact established with the main target. The holy city sits on top of a massive high mountain peak. A giant pillar of pure white light shoots into the dark sky. The human priests are trying to summon their pathetic gods. System alert. Divine energy signature detected in the capital. I smile coldly behind my heavy dark iron battle helmet now. Even the ancient gods will fall before my massive bone legion. We reach the base of the high holy mountain in a few hours. Millions of pale skeletons begin to climb the steep rock path. Their sharp bone fingers dig into the hard mountain stone now. The holy priests sing louder as they see my endless dark army. System alert. Divine summoning ritual is nearing completion. The sky above the holy city tears open with a blinding flash. A massive angel made of pure burning fire steps from the rift. Its heavy flaming sword illuminates the entire dark mountain. System alert. High-tier divine entity has entered the battle. The giant angel swings its burning sword at the bone dragon. A massive wave of pure heat travels through the freezing air. The thermal shock creates a violent explosion in the cold air. System alert. Extreme temperature fluctuations detected above. The giant bone dragon easily dodges the slow fiery attack now. It opens its pale jaws to counter with pure dark green energy. A massive necrotic beam strikes the bright angel in the chest. The divine fire flickers under the heavy dark viral assault. System alert. Divine entity is taking massive necrotic damage. The massive angel loses its balance and falls from the sky. Its heavy burning body crashes into the center of the city. The kinetic impact destroys the main temple very completely. System alert. Primary divine target neutralized by the fall. I ride my undead horse to the top of the ruined mountain peak. Millions of skeletons swarm the burning streets of the city. The dead angel lies broken in the deep crater of the temple. I command the giant bone dragon to land on the divine body. The beast digs its sharp claws into the glowing golden flesh. The dark virus infects the pure angelic core immediately now. System alert. Divine assimilation process is running right now. The bright golden fire turns into a dark green soul flame. The massive angel opens its glowing green eyes very slowly. It stands up as the ultimate loyal servant of my Dark Legion. System alert. Corrupted divine unit added to your Dark Army. The entire Third Kingdom belongs to the silent dead empire now. The giant Dark Angel folds its massive green burning wings. The ruined temple floor cracks under its massive heavy boots. Absolute dark power radiates from the corrupted divine core. System alert. Divine entity fully integrated into the Legion. I observe the silent dead city from the high mountain peak. Millions of pale skeletons stand perfectly still in the ash. Their absolute loyalty requires zero verbal commands from me. System alert global threat level upgraded to maximum status. The giant bone dragon lands heavily next to the Dark Angel. Its massive skeletal tail sweeps away the broken white stone. The beast accepts the new powerful servant without any fight. I point my heavy dark sword toward the distant eastern lands. The fourth human kingdom waits across the wide, roaring ocean. They possess advanced magical machines and heavy steel armor. System alert. Long-range scan detects massive metal structures. We must cross the deep blue water to reach their high walls. I command the giant bone dragon to take flight right away now. The beast launches into the dark sky with extreme sheer force. Its massive wings create a violent storm of freezing cold wind. The heavy kinetic wave pushes my ancient army down the mountain. Millions of skeletons march down the steep rocky slope rapidly. Their pale bones rattle loudly in the freezing mountain night. System alert. Army mobility increased by the local gravity pull. We reach the sandy white beach before the sun rises high above. The dark green virus infects the salty ocean water immediately. A thick layer of solid black ice forms over the rolling waves. System alert. Aquatic environment frozen by extreme dark magic. I ride my dark bone horse onto the newly formed heavy ice path. The frozen surface easily supports the weight of my vast legion. Millions of ancient warriors step onto the dark frozen ocean. The sheer physical mass of the army creates deep cracking sounds. System alert structural integrity of the ice bridge holds firm. The corrupted Dark Angel flies low over the marching bone troops. Its green flaming sword melts the falling snow into heavy steam. We march across the frozen sea for 3 long, dark, silent days. The thick ghost fog hides our massive numbers from the clear sky. System alert stealth protocol active across the entire ice path. A massive steel fortress appears on the distant rocky coastline. The Fourth Kingdom built a colossal metal wall to stop invasions. Hundreds of huge magical cannons point directly at my dead army. System alert. Heavy artillery lock detected on the front lines. The human engineers load massive glowing energy shells rapidly. They fire the heavy cannons with a massive deafening loud roar. Huge blue energy spheres fly through the cold, freezing ocean air. The heavy projectiles strike the frozen ice with extreme force. Violent kinetic blasts shatter the front line of my dead troops. System alert frontal units destroyed by heavy magical artillery. The dark virus instantly rebuilds the broken pale bone fragments. The scattered dust forms back into solid skeletal warriors again. Physical damage means absolutely nothing to my endless dead army. System alert unit regeneration complete in under 3 seconds. I order the Dark Angel to attack the high steel fortress walls. The massive divine creature flies forward with terrifying speed. It swings the huge burning green sword at the thick metal wall. The heavy blade cuts through the solid steel like soft, wet paper. A huge thermal blast melts the heavy artillery cannons instantly. System alert enemy defensive weapons neutralized by extreme heat. The human soldiers scream in absolute terror on the melting wall. Their advanced armor offers zero protection against divine fire. The huge bone dragon arrives to finish the broken steel fortress. It hits the main metal gate with unstoppable heavy kinetic mass. The huge steel doors collapse inward under the extreme pressure. System alert main entrance breached with massive physical force. I ride my undead horse slowly through the ruined burning gates. Millions of skeletons flood into the advanced human city quickly. The dark green fog rolls through the clean metal city streets. Living citizens inhale the toxic mist and collapse to the ground. System alert mass biological assimilation is spreading very fast. Giant mechanical golems march out from the central city square. The human engineers pilot these massive steel combat machines. They swing huge metal hammers at my advancing skeletal front. The heavy weapons crush hundreds of pale bones into white dust. System alert. Heavy mechanical resistance located in the center. I point my dark sword at the massive steel combat golems now. The huge skeletal trolls charge forward to meet the metal beasts. The heavy undead monsters clash with the giant human machines. The sheer kinetic impact shakes the entire metal city foundation. System alert, extreme physical trauma registered in the war zone. A skeletal troll rips the heavy steel arm off a combat golem. The broken machine leaks dark hot oil onto the cold stone street. Green soul fire ignites the spilled fuel with a huge explosion. System alert, enemy mechanical units destroyed by thermal blasts. The Dark Angel dives from the sky to strike the remaining golems. Its massive flaming sword cuts the heavy steel machines in half. The human pilots die instantly inside their broken metal boxes. Their dead bodies rise moments later as fresh undead soldiers. System alert. Hostile pilots successfully converted to our side. I ride my bone horse toward the massive central command tower. The giant bone dragon lands heavily on the tall metal structure. Its huge claws crush the reinforced steel roof into small pieces. The heavy kinetic force sends shockwaves down the entire tower. System alert, enemy command center taking heavy physical damage. The human king stands on the ruined roof with a glowing sword. He points the magic weapon at my dark armored face in deep fear. I step off my bone horse and walk slowly toward the weak leader. The king swings his glowing blue blade at my heavy dark chest. System alert. Weak magical strike detected on your heavy armor. The magic sword shatters completely upon hitting my solid iron. Raw physical mass always defeats pathetic human magical tricks. I grab the terrified king by his soft, weak human throat quickly. The necrotic virus flows from my dark glove into his warm body. System alert. Royal target infected with the Zero Focus Virus. His eyes turn bright glowing green as the dark magic takes hold. The king falls to his knees as a fully loyal servant of the dead. The entire Fourth Kingdom surrenders without any more fighting. System alert. Total victory achieved in the fourth human sector. The giant bone dragon roars loudly to announce our massive win. Loose bones fall from its massive ribcage onto the metal streets. Each heavy bone piece transforms into a fresh skeletal warrior. My dark army continues to grow larger with every single second. System alert, passive unit generation remains at maximum output. I look toward the deep green ancient forest in the far distance. The immortal elves hide behind their massive magical tall trees. They think their old nature magic can stop my pure total death. We march out of the ruined steel city with unstoppable momentum. Millions of pale skeletons walk toward the thick green tree line. System alert. Approaching the fifth massive biological zone now. The deep forest air feels extremely warm and full of bright life. The dark green ghost fog rolls ahead of my advancing dead troops. The thick cold mist touches the ancient magical green trees soon. The bright green leaves turn black and fall to the dead ground. System alert. Environmental corruption protocol is fully active.
This video and everything in it are completely fictional and original creations by Manhwa. The story is made only for storytelling and entertainment inside a fictional universe. It isn't meant to encourage violence, dangerous actions, or harmful behavior, and nothing in this video should be copied in real life. All characters shown in this work are fictional and are presented as 18 years old or older. This content is made only for entertainment and isn't intended to offend, attack, or harm any person, group, or organization. This channel is more than just entertainment. It's made to share deep ideas, powerful meanings, and valuable insights through stories that make you think and feel in a new way.